Hey, welcome to the Relentless Positivity Podcast. I'm your host, Joe Martin. My guest today is Dr. Lynda Namey, and she has an extensive educational and personal experience background, and that allows her to help people experience personal growth and transformation that they didn't even think was possible. So, hey, welcome to the show, my friend. Glad you're here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to let people kind of get to know the you, because you have had a pretty crazy life and a lot of life experiences, a lot of things you've learned, not only in a classroom, but outside of a classroom as well. So I want to get kind of people kind of get around your mind a little bit. So what's something not many people know about you?
Well, there's probably a couple of things. One thing is that when I started my very extensive education, I started many years ago as a vocal performance major. So not only can I sing, I also play the guitar and the piano.
Wow, how about that? You're a triple
Yeah.
threat. You got it all. You can do a little bit of everything, right? So I started playing drums the other day, so I can accompany you
True.
if you need to. I'm pretty awesome after one
That
day.
would be
So
perfect. Let's do it.
let's do it.
Let's do it. New show.
Oh yeah, there we
We'll hit
go.
the Huntsville music scene.
Oh yeah, make sure they listen to you and not me. So what's your guilty pleasure? We all have one. What's your guilty
Oh
pleasure?
boy. So anyone, oh boy. I probably have more than one.
Yeah.
Probably only a couple that could be shared. um, Probably anybody who knows me, I am big on meditation. It's a real part of my life. I make it a point to get up every day between 4 and 5, and I meditate for a good 45 minutes to an hour. And it's just, as you get to know me, meditation is something that adds so many benefits to a person's life. And that's both, mentally, emotionally, but physical. So it's a very important part of my life. If I were to pick my guilty pleasure, it would be those days that I decide to sleep in a little bit longer, or I get out of bed, I get my coffee, and I get back in bed and drink my coffee and snuggle with my French Bulldog Roo, and I completely skip meditation.
There you go. See, you get the good and the
So
it all works together, right? So I nap
it
for my
does.
guilty pleasure. So I'm a nap. I get it. If sleep's involved, I'm in. Yeah. All right. So if you were a
Yes.
superhero, what's your superpower? What's your kryptonite?
Okay, so this got tricky because when I grew up, we didn't watch TV.
Hmm.
So I had to like stop and even think about superheroes. And initially, what I was going to say would be, oh, it's got to be someone like Wonder Woman. She spells her name like me. But I think knowing that we didn't watch TV unless it was a sporting event, if I had a superpower, it would be that with this wave of my hand, I could just emit this bright, radiant light to whoever's standing in front of me or sitting in front of me. And it would give you the power to just see positivity and change perspective without doing the hard work. Because, anytime you make changes, it is hard work. So I think my superpower would absolutely be I could just go, here you go, the work is over. So with that being said, I think my kryptonite would have to be those negative energies that would try to come in and block that light.
Oh, there you go. That's a good answer right there. You're like a Miss America pageant
Oh,
contestant right there.
good
Yeah,
answer. Good
man.
answer.
Yeah, good answer. Yeah, but I mean that's
Don't
actually
ask
what
me
you
my
do.
talent.
The cool part is actually that's what you do is unlock the light within people. So that's pretty cool. That's actually your superpower. So that's a good one
Yes.
right there. So this one you might have to you probably got several you could go in here, but tell me a crazy story about your family.
I have a crazy family. Um, Probably the craziest story that I don't even know that I realized how crazy it was till I got older is I am of the Lebanese heritage. My grandfather, who was 100% Lebanese, actually would play poker for a living, which you don't realize till you're older. That's a little odd. And the money that he made, he went and he bought a parking garage and a beer distributor, which is really strange because he didn't drink beer. But as I was raised, I worked in the beer distributor with him, and that's how I learned to count and to give change without using a calculator or a cash register. And more than that, he taught me to play poker. So I can play poker and count cards, and I would go to Las Vegas every year with my grandparents and my father where I would play poker. And it seemed very normal to me until, of course, you get older and you stop and you go, huh, so most people don't do that, do they?
I mean, it's different. I think it's pretty awesome though.
Oh, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'd picking up
absolutely
some
awesome.
life skills right there, right?
I am.
Yeah, for sure. So,
So don't ever challenge me at the poker table.
I'm not doing that. So, what makes you mad?
Oh, here's another one. I'm not somebody who gets mad. It takes a lot. So I really had to sit with this and think about something that makes me mad. And I think I came up with something that's more frustration to me than something that really makes me mad. And it's what truly concerns me is this tendency that we have as society and as individuals to completely overlook the critical importance of our mental health care. And it happens in so many ways, whether it's we choose not to allocate resources that we have to use toward mental health, or if it's somebody who truly recognizes they need it and they don't have the resources to get it. And I have a heart to help, which is pretty much why I've done what I have done for 20 plus years. But more than that, as I'm coming out and starting a business and doing this whole, I want to share my light and help you find your light. I run into more and more people who see mental health care as a choice. And I watch people allocate resources in many other areas when I feel as if there's this stigma that is placed on somebody truly just sitting down and saying, I need help, or I'm scared, or I don't know what is next. And I think the anger to me is that it's become acceptable that a culture has cultivated this whole stigma when mental health gives such a value to a person, um, in every part of a life. So I think that would be it.
Yeah. So I like to ask people what makes them mad because it usually just displays their passion. And that just clearly what you
There
just
you
did
go.
right there. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. So I think people, I mean, like, I think it's kind of swinging that way that people realize just how important mental health is, but we're not there
Mhm.
yet. There's still a
We're
lot of,
not there yet.
yeah,
No, and it's definitely disheartening to see a person struggle and not ask for help, or to ask for help and not be able to afford it, or to say, "Hey, I need help, but I'd rather go on vacation." It's definitely something that is a very frustrating thing to see.
that's right. Yeah. So kind of that and along that lines, tell us about your educational background. It's pretty extensive. I wanted people let them know who they're dealing with here.
Well, how much time do we have? So, if my father could see me now,
Yeah.
my educational background is, well, I mean, I said I started in vocal performance. I was going to be on Broadway. That was my dream. Somehow it transitioned into realizing that I do have a heart where I want to help. So I got my master's in clinical mental health, which I did for a long time. And last year, at about this time, I completed my doctorate in crisis and trauma counseling. And somewhere along the line, as I realized I have this passion for meditation, I got my certificate as a meditation coach. And then I also went and got my certificate as a life coach and in transformational life coaching. And I also am a Reiki master.
Man, you love some school, huh?
Well, I do. And again, if my father could see me now.
Yeah. My wife's same way. She loves school. I could not wait to be done. I like learning things, but I like to learn kind of on my own time
Weird.
and my own
I don't
things.
know what it is. I think it came with age. So when you're 18 and your parents say you're going to college, that's not for everyone. And I think it was more of my personality of you're not going to tell me what to do.
Yeah,
But now obviously I'm not 18 anymore. And I think there is so much to learn and so much to do. And as hard as it was to get my doctorate, chances are I'll get another one.
well, man, better you than me. Better you than me. So, do you? I would if it, I know we talked about this, but I would force people to call me doctor. If I got my doctorate, God force. But if you get a double doctor, are you gonna have people like call you doctor, like,
Probably. Yeah, I
oh,
probwill then. Yeah. I
you
mean, if I
got
get my
to.
second one, that makes sense to be
Oh,
doctor.
yeah.
Just reinforce it.
What that movie, Spies Like Us, where they keep saying
Doctor, doctor. Yeah,
doctor.
maybe if they
Yeah.
keep saying it, I'll actually believe it.
Yeah. Well, I believe it, man. That's exceptional to me to go out there and get that doctorate, man. That's commitment right there. So, how
Thank
come you
you.
did switch to the life coaching from all the stuff you've done for the past 20 plus years? Why the switch?
Um, I think that the biggest reason that I switched is I I I find that in counseling, we very much worked on let me look at who you are now and figure out why you are the way you are. And it's kind of like you take the house and you build it down, or you tear it down and you rebuild it. Um, and I think that for me, when it comes to life coaching, we accept you as you are. The house is built. This is our current reality. And then we can ask that critical question, now what, rather than look at what was.
Right.
So life coaching is just that switch to me of saying you are where you are. Let's accept where you are. This is your reality, but how do we move you forward?
Oh, that's great. That's a great way to look at it. Yeah, you don't have to rebuild the house. You can just, hey,
No,
what we got now, let's put an
this is
addition
here.
on there. Let's put
Well,
an
and,
addition
and
on.
as we get older, as we get older, there's a lot of baggage. So to take somebody my age, and then say, well, let's go back and talk about your childhood. You can get so caught up in all of what was that it's very difficult to be able to look at what can be. So, life coaching to me is just more the promise of what can be and not to get mogged down by all of our past.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you, people probably heard of life coaches and there's a different way to do it. What separates you from the other life coaches and how they do things?
Um, there's a couple different things that I would say absolutely separates me. I mean, obviously, one of them I would go, I have the background in counseling, and there aren't a lot of life coaches who can come to it with the history and the education and the experience that I have. So when I combine that with life coaching the way that I view it, and let's look at the future. And then I can also combine it with all of these holistic things, such as meditation and, maybe some Reiki and my understanding of energy. And I use a lot of visualizations. There's just a lot of different things that I can take my counseling background with my unique perspective, and I have a way of being able to use all of that and work with an individual for what works best for them.
Oh, there you go. I like how you're just meeting people where they are and helping them to get where
Right.
they want to be. That's right.
Exactly.
That's a great way to do it. So you're kind of known for unlocking the light within. So that's a cool kind of catchphrase. But what does that mean
Yes.
in your words? And what does that mean for the rest of us right here?
Okay, so I'm going to give a little history about unlocking the light within without getting too detailed about it because we don't have all day. But I like to look at life with what I call the whiteboard analogy. And what the whiteboard analogy is in simple terms is at whatever our age is, it may be 15, 18, 25, 50, fill in the blank of your age. We have a vision of what we think our life will be and should be. And that is our picture on our whiteboard. So what happens is someone or something comes in and erases the whiteboard, and you're handed this blank board and you're forced to go, now what?
Mm.
So for me, and this making this a short story, my whiteboard had a picture of being married, my kids living in Hershey, Pennsylvania, um, you know, kids getting married, having our grandkids, and you have this whole vision in front of you. And what happened to me was a divorce where somebody else made the choice to come in and erase my whiteboard. And when that happens, you have a choice where you can either continue to live the same picture you envisioned, which causes you to be stuck, or you can make changes. So for me, I made changes. I woke up one day and I realized that everybody else was moving forward. My son's a dentist. My daughter got married. She has 2 kids. My former husband and the girlfriend, of course, live in the house where the kids were, but it was me who was refusing to change the whiteboard. So I jumped in my car, sold everything I owned, jumped in my car with my dog, 2 boxes, and drove 12 hours to Alabama, where I recreated myself and my whiteboard. So, little history. Fill that story in for anyone, anyone. It could be a divorce, an illness, you lose your job. But what the whiteboard analogy goes to show is you unlock your light. It's those events, the erasing of the whiteboard, that causes you to need to look within and recreate your own light in your own story. So, part of what I do is to help an individual tap into that and say, it all kind of stinks, but this is exciting because you get to do your new whiteboard. And that is all part of unlocking that light and giving you your power.
Oh, see, that's the perfect intersection of your life experiences and your education coming together to help people. That's what I'm
Right.
talking about right there.
Mm-hmm.
So, something that you're really awesome about is helping people with limiting self-beliefs. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
something that holds a lot of us back. First of all, can you tell me what limiting self-beliefs are? And then what are something we can do today to start overcoming those things?
So a limiting belief, in the simplest terms, is just to say it's a negative thought that holds you back. And it's a negative thought that holds you back, and it's the thoughts that prevent you from unlocking that light within. And that would be the simplest way to describe it. A lot of people don't even realize that they have limiting beliefs because you're so used to just going through your days. And I hear a lot of people say, I'm living Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And it's I get up, I do the same thing, I go to bed. And the next day I get up, I do the same thing, and I go to bed. And it's not that your life is, nothing is bad or good. It's what you make of it. So it's those limiting beliefs that prevent you from saying, I got up and it was an amazing day and I can't wait to do it again tomorrow. Um, and there are different ways that you can change those limiting beliefs. The first one is to recognize that you have them. And like I said, a lot of people don't even realize that they have them. So to simplify it, this could be a whole other podcast. um, the first step I would say to take is to recognize those thoughts and then overcome them. And first and foremost, it would be crucial to identify, as you're saying, I live Groundhog Day or whatever, is to play that back in your mind. And I know that you and I have talked about this before. I'm really big on transformational speech. So, a simple exercise that I would use, and I've used it with you, is to say to you, give me a list. Just give me a list of things when you're telling me you wake up and it's the same thing. Give me your list of things you have to do. And I would say, write those out. And then we would pause and look at the list. And then I would say, okay, but let's look at the list again and not say I have to, but I want to. So, an example, if you're going to say to me, I have to brush my teeth, I'm going to say, but you don't have to. My son's a dentist. I can hook you up with a really good dentist. You don't have to do it, but you want to because you don't want to have cavities or go to the dentist. And you can do that with anything. We say, I have to go to work. I have to breathe. I have to take care of my kids. Those are not things you have to do. You want to do them. And then after we do that, or for you, I have to exercise. And you'd say, no, you don't. You want to. And then I would say, take it one step further. And this is where the transformational speech comes in. And I would say, you don't have to, you may want to, but truly you are blessed to be able to.
That's the game
And then
changer right there.
it's the game changer. You take that same list because I am blessed to be able to get up and brush my teeth. I am blessed to breathe. And that's just as you're taking your limiting beliefs. I work with people on, if you would come to me and it's the what next, or say you want to meet your perfect person or get your perfect job, or I just want to feel better about life in general. What I do with you is I would work with you and say, let's talk about this. Give me your list of of what you have to do. Give me a list of want to do. Let's change that. And through transformational speech, I have a philosophy, and I've seen it work, that if you just shift your perspective of things, your reality will change. And that's where I would say start with your limiting beliefs.
Oh, that's huge right there. Yeah. I mean, words really matter, especially the words you say to yourself. I mean,
Right.
and
Right.
these,
And
and this is
again,
some
you
of the
know what?
stuff.
Your vibes speak louder than your words. So
Yeah.
the more you can change the way you feel about things and the way you look at things, the better things will be.
And I can feel it. Can you feel that? Do you feel the self-doubt of some people listening? So
A
if
lot.
you're doubting, just give it a try. Just give it a
Mhm.
try, and then report back. I think you'll
Right.
find out it's pretty awesome. And if you're not prepared to do that by yourself, I know someone that can guide you through it. She's talking to me right now. So, speaking of that, how can people reach out? Do you follow all the cool things you have going on, all the public speaking and coaching and everything you do?
So you can get on my website, which is www.thelightinme.net. I have events listed on there. Right now, I have 2 events on that I know the dates of. One is May 11th, which is we'll talk about neuro art, automatic writing, and manifestation. And then at some point in July, I don't actually have the date, I'm doing a workshop on the art of manifestation through visualization. But I always update my website. There's also, there's a contact form on there, my phone number, shoot me an email. I think one of the most important things, which I'm going to say now, is to take it back to mental health is not something that a person can ignore or put off. And it's a reach out, and everybody needs it. So reach out to me and know that I work one-on-one with people, and I also have workshops that are available with a lot of resources.
Oh, and we just skimmed the surface. She can go so deep on this stuff if you wanted to. That we would be here for hours because she's got all the background. She's got the personal experience on this stuff. If you need her to come in, maybe talk to your workplace, something like that. Maybe you need to teach them meditation at your work. And the way she teaches meditation, it's not what you think about. You're not going to fall asleep. All that stuff. It's more active than you think. If someone's doing that at 4 a.m, you know it's active. So she does it every
Absolutely.
morning to get going. So any of these these limiting beliefs or things like that, if it has to do with mental health, she can help you get better. She can coach you where you want to be. You don't have to go back to your childhood and lay down on a couch and talk about mom and dad and all those things. That's not what she's doing. She's going to help you out, just helping you become a better person through your own thoughts and feelings. And that's what she does. She's really helping a lot of people out there. So thank you for what you're doing out there. We need more people out there, kind of pushing this mental health stuff forward.
I agree.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
That's cool. So, hey, if you're listening right now, maybe you can share this episode with someone that would benefit from what her teachings today, or that would like to get to know her a little bit better, needs her coaching or things like that. Please share that. I'm going to link her website in the show notes. If you don't spell very well like me, you can just click on things. That's so much easier for me. But hey, Dr. Lynda, keep it up. I can't wait to see what your next doctorate is.
Oh, thank you. I so appreciate this.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week on the Relentless Positivity Podcast. Wow, what a great episode. You just share that with somebody. I'm going to share with you some awesome sponsors. McWilliams Marketing. They can help your business grow. Regardless of the size of the project, you're going to get a solution that is specifically created for you and your business. No cookie cutter, one size fits approach here. So Amy and her band of fearless marketers can help you with all that stuff that you think you can do, but you're not really that good at it. You don't have time for it. They can do that. They're the experts. It's what they do. Web design, online conversion optimization, SEO, graphic design, marketing, page management, all that stuff. Go let them do that. Don't handle that yourself. Go check them out at mcwilliamsmarketing.com. See what all they can do. They're amazing people. Teak Patnick with Patnick Realty. He really does it all in the real estate world. General real estate sales, acquisitions, property management, investments, all that good stuff. You're not just a transaction with Teak. He really wants to build a relationship for life with you. He has built his whole business on prayer, hard work ethic, honesty, and results. You can trust Patnick Realty with all your real estate needs. Hey, I trust my brother from another mother, Teak, and you should too. Give him a call, 256-694-0117, or email him at teak@patnickco.com. Hey, these are awesome businesses. Go support them. They're out supporting positivity, and they will do you right. Have an awesome day.